Hi, I'm Marion, Landry, Technical Marketing Manager for Autodesk. In this tips and tricks, I want to show you how easily you can import the camera that were created in 3ds Max Design into Showcase and add depth of field, which is new to Showcase 2014. So here I have my Showcase project, and I already have a few cameras that are positioned in my scene. But because I'm developing the 3ds Max Design visualization as well, I also want to import the camera from 3ds Max Design so both of my projects are viewed in similar angle. So I'm going to look at the same project in 3ds Max Design, and obviously here my project is further developed because 3ds Max Design offers me different sets of tools. I'm able to add animated characters, animated trains, soft skate, animated flags that are flapping in the wind. 3ds Max Design serves a different purpose and gives me more emotionally engaged animation. But still, I can take advantage to a lot of tools of 3ds Max Design to enhance my Showcase project. And one of them is the facility to import 3ds Max Design camera, either which are still or animated, into my Showcase project. And the purpose of that would be to share the same type of angle for both of the same project, or simply if you're more familiar with animating a camera in 3ds Max Design, you can do so and then import it into Showcase. And the process is really simple. I'm going to load the window Select from Scene, and I'm going to filter to only view the camera in my scene. I'm going to select all the camera and camera target, minus the camera that was part of the Revit model, which I probably already have in my Showcase scene. I'm going to click OK, and you see all the camera are selected in my scene. Now I'm going to go Export Selected Only, which is not recorded right now. So this way, I'm only exporting the selected items in my scene rather than exporting the complete scene. And I'm going to call that camera from Max Scene, and it's an FBX, obviously, and I'm going to save it. Now in the FBX preset, make sure that you are exporting the animation as well as the camera. So if you don't have those two items checked, then your FBX will be empty, obviously. And I'm going to click OK. It's going to export the FBX, and I'm going to be able from Showcase to import the FBX with all the camera in here. So once in Showcase, I'm going to press T to open the shot menu where I still have the camera that I positioned earlier. And I'm going to go File, Import File, and browse to my export folder and import the camera from maxscene.fbx. Looks like nothing happened. You give it a little bit of time and the shot will appear in the shot menu, and now you have access to all the camera and they're named exactly how they were in 3ds Max Design. Notice that I have access to both the still cameras as well as the animated camera. And because I'm using the same FBX to import this model in Showcase as well as in 3ds Max Design, when I import the camera from 3ds Max Design, they're positioned exactly at the right position because I'm using the same original FBX for both of these software. So something to keep in mind, if you're more familiar with the tools of 3ds Max Design, you can always create your camera animation in 3ds Max Design. Now, new to Showcase 2014, the ability to add depth of field to your camera, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But before, I went ahead and imported a few more elements for 3ds Max Design and further developed my scene. So first of all, you might want to refresh the image of each of the new thumbnail camera, because upon import of the FBX, it just selected the view that you add in Showcase and applied this thumbnail to each of the cameras. So the visual reference might not be accurate. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting each of these cameras and basically refreshing the thumbnail image so I have a better visual reference of what these camera angles are. Secondly, you'll notice that the camera that I had previously created in Showcase, some of them do have depth of field, which is new of Showcase 2014. Now, there is a setting to take in consideration when you apply depth of field. So you can apply depth of field in the viewports and then click on any of the shots that you have, and the depth of field will be carried to any of the shots unless you change the properties of the shot to save the depth of field with the shot. So you see, if I click on the depth of field on a shot that has depth of field and one that doesn't, but doesn't have the depth of field lock in the properties, then the depth of field get carried away. So this is something you might want to consider to help keep the depth of field or no depth of field for your shots. If you look at the shot property, there's a checkbox that says here, use depth of field and value and save it with this shot. So this is something you might want to do. So here I'm going to look at the camera properties where I can adjust the depth of fields of my camera. So I can basically decide to have no depth of field or have a slight depth of field that works for this particular camera. So I'm going to adjust the focal distance and the f-stop to give me a slight depth of field blurriness in the backgrounds. And this is for this shot what I want. So I'm going to reset the position to lock this depth of field to this particular shot. So if I click to the next shot over, this depth of field gets carried away on this next shot because the depth of field value is not saved. So I can reset the position and make sure that this depth of field is saved into this shot. So to save the depth of field per shot, you do need to check in this use depth of field and save the value with this shot. So this is an important button, whether or not you want to save the depth of field per shot, or rather if you want to have depth of field or not, something to take in consideration.